Alright, we got a hold of the new chapter of Kagurabachi, so let's get right to it. So we see Chihiro with Char, and obviously they're both really exhausted after the events of the last chapter, but unfortunately for them, another sorcerer is after them. And then that's when we get introduced to a new character. He just goes up to Chihiro's sword and he's like, yeah, put that away. And then he just starts kicking this dude's ass. Like, oh my god. And then we see him hold like a string of lightning? I assume that's lightning. But then it seems like the sorcerer knows who this guy is. And he's just like, I'm out. And he just leaves. So, okay, problem resolved. But yeah, then the dude just shows up to Chihiro and he's like, long time no see. And then Chihiro's like, Mr. Azami, it's been a while. Thanks for your help. And he didn't even use sorcery. And Char's like, who is this guy? But yeah, he notices that Chihiro's clearly dealing with some troubles, but he tells him that's not really his assignment. But then Chihiro, he's like, oh, what about your hand? And he just starts freaking out about his bleeding hand. I'm like, oh, okay. That caught me a bit off guard. I guess he's just dealing with a delayed reaction or something. But then we see Chihiro and this guy go back to Hinowa's place, and he's like, yo, Shiba. And he's like, huh? What do you want, Azami? It doesn't seem like Shiba has a really good history with this guy. Because Hinowa's like, oh, are you gonna take Char away? And Char's like, no, don't do that. But then he's like, I really wish I could, but ever since the war with Kumanabi was established, our role wasn't changed to eliminate. And then Shiba's like, to eliminate any threats to the nation, not interfering in personal matters. I'm glad I quit. So uptight. Damn, Shiba. Wow, I love this man. He does not care. This is probably like my favorite panel of the whole chapter. Like, oh my goodness. Shiba just does not care. Anyways, either way, Char is just super happy that she doesn't have to go anywhere and that she can stay with Chihiro. And then she's just flapping her sleeves about. And Shiba's like, wow, she's really happy. And Chihiro's like, is that what that is? I'll just let her express herself, man. Look at how happy she is. If this is how she expresses her joy, then that brings me joy. But yeah, then Azami says that both Chihiro and Shiba should probably go back to the organization and let him know what's going on, because they're interested in finding out why exactly Sojo is after Chihiro and Char. And it seems like he's not too happy about the idea that, that there's a seventh blade and that's being hidden. I think not even the organization knows, which is really interesting. Like, they know the 6 blades are out there in the public, which are posing a danger to the nation, but they're not even aware that there's a 7th blade, and he doesn't think that Chihiro should be the one to wield it either. But then Shiba just backs him up and he's like, look at him. This kid is grown. Like, he was able to take on some sorcerers on his own, and he's only going to continue to grow. Like, the 7th blade is, like, honestly the most safest with him. Like, having it out there probably isn't a good idea. Honestly, all of the blades should return to Chihiro. Like, they were his family to begin with. Like, that's the whole point of this. And then Azami's like, you know what, whatever. He can keep the sword, he can keep doing whatever he wants. He'll just continue to play dumb. Obviously, that won't work for, like, too long, but, he's going to let things slide, which is fine. But then this is where we get to the real interesting part of the chapter. Azami reveals that there's an upcoming auction where one of the enchanted blades is going to be a part of it, which was submitted by Sojo himself. And, Chihiro he realizes, like, oh, man, the blade's actually going to be there. Like, you can tell by his expression, he's like, oh, I have to get there no matter what. And then we cut to Sojo, and he's talking to, like, 2 shadowy figures. And obviously, like, one of them we've seen before, which is the one that showed up to kill Chihiro's father. And he was also there with the Yakuza guy in the first chapter. And some unknown guy. I believe when Chihiro's father fought them, there was a woman there as well, and I don't see her. It's just these 2. So clearly there's more members out there. But yeah, but wherever there are, it seems distorted. Like, everything is, like, upside down. Not even upside down, it's, like, around, like, 180. It's kind of weird. But yeah, Sojo's like, is this meeting even necessary? And they're like, report. And he's like, everything's going as planned. That's all. But then we cut off to the next chapter, and Chihiro's thinking to himself. And we knew that they had Cloud Gouger, but Shinichi as well. So that's 2 blades in his possession, and as far as we know, one of them is going to be auctioned. Or at least one of them. I don't know if it's both. It could be both. But, we know for sure that one of them is definitely going to be auctioned. So now Chihiro needs to go to that auction no matter what. But then Azami is like, yeah, Sojo's out of your league. You should not go to the auction. Leave it to us. Leave it to the organization, and we'll handle it. And then Chihiro's like, got it. And Azami's like, what a bold-faced lie. And Shiba's like, you know who you're talking to, right? You're talking to a brick wall. He's not going to stop just because you're telling him to stop. He's going to go over those at the auction no matter what. So, realizing there really isn't anything to do, He's letting them know that, yeah, they're plotting something with the enchanted blades, so when they do, it'll rock the nation. And of course, it's going to be like an extremely dangerous situation. So, either way, Azami lets them know the auction starts in 1 month. We have to do everything in our power to be ready. And that's hype. That's a really good way to end the chapter, because that, like, in a month's time, Chihiro has to get even stronger. Which, I mean, there's only so much you can do in a month. But the build-up leading up to the auction, that's going to be great. And when we actually get to the auction itself, that has the potential to be a really good arc. You know what this reminds me of as well? It reminds me of the York New City arc in Hunter x Hunter. Because if you've seen Hunter x Hunter, we actually see Gon and Killua go to an auction, and then they meet face-to-face with the Phantom Trope. So, I'm kind of hoping something similar will happen here, where when Chihiro and the gang reach the auction, they're going to meet up with whatever organization was the one that killed Chihiro's father, which leads to some really good fights, some really good drama, and some hell of suspense. And, like, the way Hunter x Hunter did it was just amazing. And if Kagurabachi can do just half of that, we are in for a feast. So I'm really excited. And the fact that, you know, they're saying that, oh, there's a month, like, I'm kind of hoping they don't just skip to the month. I kind of hope, like, we see the build-up to it. Because the build-up they could do could be really, really hype. So, I'm already hyped, so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen at the auction. But yeah, that's a great way to end the chapter. And overall, like, a really good way to show that, you know, there's a major event happening in the auction. The characters have to be ready for that. And we're probably in for some really good action when it begins. Plus, bonus, Char gets to stay with Chihiro. So we get to see some more wacky antics with her and Chiba. So that makes me even more excited. But yeah, solid chapter. I really had fun with it. And like I said, like a 1,000 times, I'm really excited to see how the auction goes down. So now I want to hear what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy the chapter? Are you guys excited for the auction as much as I am? What do you guys think will happen in the auction or before that during the 1 month? Just feel free to leave your theories and ideas below. I'll try to respond to all of them as best as I can. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Peace out. Take care. And here's looking forward to the next chapter, everyone.